Yo, salute nation. Clocked in, ready to go. Let's hit it. What it do, my guys? Raider Nation, salute to everyone in the chat, in the building. Let me go ahead and pull up my guy, the Raider Rundown. What is good, my guy?
Man, what's the deal with everybody, man? What's the deal with my guy, man? We in the building. Apologies for the lateness. You already know what time it is. But yeah, we here, man. We doing our thing, bro.
Yep. That is a rough cut of the Good Morning Raiders intro. We're still working on it, but we wanted to go ahead and just put it out there slowly but surely. Hopefully y'all like it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it for sure. There you go. Baby rundown in the building.
Had to go
Yes, sir.
ahead, man.
We starting off the morning off right. Yes, sir. I got baby J over there. He's
Oh
chilling
yeah,
in the corner, drinking his little bottle. He's
yeah.
having his
Both of
breakfast.
everybody know, man. We doing our show, man. We gotta go ahead and be feeding the youngins and do what we do, man.
Yeah, we gotta get the family right for sure. But hey, appreciate everyone pulling up. If you are new, make sure you guys head on over, hit that subscribe button for all our ride or dies in the building. Make sure you guys go ahead and smash that like button for sure. It helps us out, helps us support the show. Appreciate everyone tapping in with us on this Saturday morning. But we can go directly into it. We got our guest for today. This man from the 50/50 show and Around the Shield. He does a show with Severe. Shout out to Severe. Um, but let me go ahead and bring none other than Farrell. What is good, brother?
What's
Appreciate
going
you tapping
on,
in with
man?
us.
Appreciate you having me on, man.
Of
Yes, it.
course, man. Hey, one
About
of the
time.
dogs,
About
man. One of
time.
the
We had to do
guys,
this.
bro.
It's been we should have done this a long time ago, but I appreciate the invite, man.
Of
Yeah, of
course, bro.
course.
You already
Yeah,
know, man.
man.
Always a good time when we tapping in with you and Severe, man.
Yes, sir.
But definitely glad to have you here solo, man. Get some of your takes for sure, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Yes, sir. So we gonna go into it. We got a little bit limited time today with Farrell. He's a busy man. So let me go ahead and jump right off and go into Geno Smith officially a Raider. Contract signing press conference done on Monday. So he's in it to win it for sure. This is something we've been waiting on for a while. The contract was done I think on Friday of last week, but the official presser was done on Monday. So we got the specifics for that. I mean, I know we covered it the other day, but again, just to recap, he's extended for 2 years, 85.5 million, 66.5 million guaranteed. The way that breaks down is that that contract is front loaded. So his contract, he's getting 40 million this year coming to him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
and then next year, I believe is about 20 or so. And then year three, nothing. Nothing. He has money that if he plays and he doesn't get injured, he'll get about 39 million or so. But it is not fully guaranteed at all. So what that means for us is that if it doesn't work out with Gino, we essentially can get out of that contract in year two,
Mhm.
which is great news. We'll see. It's kind of like a prove it deal, very team friendly oriented. So I like that contract. Um, and that leaves the door open for possibly bringing in a quarterback. If it doesn't work out, or he gets hurt, God forbid, and somebody can step in and take over for Gino at that point, right? So we
Right.
got options, right? The other biggest news: Jack Jones was officially released on Monday. He is no longer a Raider. Some of us potentially saw this coming. I said this could be a possibility. I don't know if his style of play would necessarily mesh with Pete Carroll, and the way he likes to conduct things over there. But it was a parting ways. They actually tried to trade him, couldn't find a trade partner for him. So they decided to go ahead and release him. So I think he's currently on waivers right now. So we'll see what happens. So, but man, Jack Jones is no longer a Raider. How y'all feel about that? With Gino here, and then Jack Jones is gone.
Yeah, my boy Pharaoh, take it away, man.
Initially, I was shocked. I mean, just because already the depth at cornerback was already kind of thin. We were looking at like, all right, we got to upgrade that nickel corner. We thought maybe they might have grabbed someone in free agency, maybe a Mike Hilton. I think he's still out there. Maybe he's a little longer in the tooth. Maybe his asking price a little too high. Whatever the case may be, I thought maybe the Raiders might pick him up after losing out on Nate Hobbs, which I felt like they could have kept a Nate Hobbs when you look at the details of that contract, because essentially that he got like a 2-year, $16 million when you kind of do what you're doing with the Geno Smith deal and you look at like the details, you're like, oh, okay, it's really only a 2-year deal. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that for Nate Hobbs. I know he's the biggest knock on him is injuries, but like the talent, we know that if he could put it all together as far as a healthy season, we could have kept him. We didn't. The Raiders didn't do that, along with like a few other starters that didn't get signed. So I'm like, all right, okay. So this is kind of interesting. I mean, like, did we get better? Did we get worse? It just feels like we got worse just because there's a lot of question marks on defense. Now we talk about a Jack Jones who I thought, earlier in the offseason, there was like he was on like NFL Network and he was bigging up Carroll. He was talking about how Carroll was, a great coach and I can't wait to play for him. I'm like, oh, okay, man. Hey, that's the first sign of someone buying in. He's all in.
Yep.
But whatever the case may be, I think it was more of a football move just because, like, he lengthwise, he's not the type of corner that maybe a Carroll would like on the outside. And then they possibly could have moved them inside, but you just mentioned something. Maybe Jack Jones wasn't all in on that. Maybe he feels like he's more of an outside guy, and he's on his last year of his rookie deal. So he's like, you know what? Let me just go somewhere else, compete for an outside job, and play strong for his last year of his deal. Or at this point, he's a free agent. He kind of went through waivers and didn't get picked up. So
Right.
we'll see how that shakes out. But I was shocked, man, because now it's not like we have a lot of options as far as the draft picks to really shore up all of our needs. And you know what? I've said this, beginning of offseason, I felt like the Raiders should rebuild based off where they're at and what they need to do it right, because we've been trying to reload and trying to, put a Band-Aid on the team and trying to figure out how they can win now, but it doesn't work. You know what I mean? We don't have, we're not built to win long term. And I think the Raiders kind of indirectly are doing that. They're taking a more long-term approach, because when you don't sign some of these guys and you're looking at the draft, that's more of a long-term approach. You're going to wait for them to develop and all that stuff. But I mean, I want to hear your take, Rundown.
For me, bro, the Jack Jones thing, I'm not gonna say like I was surprised. Well, like to a degree, yeah. If you just want to say like that's the word, then yeah. Like if that's the topic, sure, I'll say surprise. And the only reason I say surprise is because, like you said, the cornerback room is thin, bro. Like we right now, as it stands, and I've said this a lot of times, like we have to rely heavily on DeCamerion Richardson right now. Like if he does not improve, if he is not good, we're screwed. Like that's just what it is right now, bro. Because right now, looking at it, it's between him and Eric Stokes, but Eric Stokes has the same type of injury history as Nate Hobbs does. For real, he really don't be all that. Now, for me, Nate Hobbs was a different story. I was kind of okay with letting him go because I thought as the cornerback room stood, we can go into the draft. Maybe we get a Jahdae Barron or something like that. And I've talked about that for a number of months, whatever the case. But if we can do that, sure. But now that you lose Jack Jones, who for me, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm not saying he's gonna be a top 10 corner or whatever, but at least right now for the depth, right, for what we need, for what we
Right.
have, he's a cool floor at
Right.
least. So all right, we lose that. Now you go into it. Do you have to get a Will Johnson or a Will Johnson now? Do you have to do that? Like now there are things that now you look at the draft, it's like, damn, like we might have to make some moves and figure out what we want to do. So I for the Jack Jones thing, I'm not gonna say like, oh man, this is the worst move we could have did. Now we can replace him, but there's a lot, like you said, bro. Like we are relying heavily on these younger dudes now. These younger dudes are gonna have to come out here and give us some good work. And right now, as it stands, bro, like it's not a lot of confidence in that room. I like Jacorian Bennett, but it's been 2 straight years he has not finished the season. I know a lot of people continuously. I know we gloss over some facts, bro, but it has been 2 straight years that he has not finished the season out. So that is a fact. Eric Stokes, injury history as well. Last year was the first year he played a full season. Yeah. Cool. We saw what DeCamerion Richardson looked like. All right. Now, I don't know if everybody has that same confidence like they did with Jacorian. Like, oh, man, we'll just give him time. Like, yeah, he got the length. Yeah, he's got all that. But like I said, bro, when them hips ain't oily at the cornerback position, like, come on, son. Like, that's a death sentence. Whatever receiver you play that has them fluid ass hips is gonna kill you, dog. So it's just like,
yep, I agree, because it's like the league of small receivers. Like they're gonna be going
all 50, all of them now. Zay Flowers type of receivers. You feel what I'm saying? He gonna struggle against those, bro. So if he don't improve, it's gonna look nasty. So like now we're going into the draft, bro, and this is a topic we might can save for later, and I'll let Jay go, but. I'm starting to view it now 2 weeks out, bro, where we're not going to fill all these holes this year. It's just not going to happen. There's too many, right? Like, and people like to gloss over the fact we can talk about the offensive side and say like, oh man, just get a running back. Like, no, there's more. There's still some more. So, I mean, bro, we're just not going to fill all the holes this year. It's just not gonna happen.
And a great draft would be to get like pretty much last draft, get 3 starters.
Yep.
If we can get 3 starters from a draft, we're good. But guess what? We need more starters.
We need more than 3. Yeah. We need more than 3
starters, bro. Yeah, we lost like 6, 5, like 5 or 6 starters, on defense. So I 100% agree. I think it almost kind of guarantees that we go corner within the first 2 picks.
Yeah, first or second. What I mean? First or second.
Yeah, maybe in the first. I'm hoping they could trade down because I'm hearing. I don't know if you're hearing the same rumors. I don't know how. It's a lot of smoke.
Let me know.
They're saying that the Jets might be interested in Genty. They're saying the Bears are interested in Genty.
That I know for sure. The Bears for sure. They definitely won't.
You know what I'm saying? And then early on the offseason, the Cowboys was in the mix too as well. Like you heard their name early on. Hey, the more people who are interested in Genty, that makes the value at that number 6 pick even more valuable. So put out there.
Facts, man. Yeah. So I mean, we talking about the draft. I don't know if you got another topic. You got another topic that you want to touch on real quick, Jay?
Yeah, and then I think this is gonna correlate. I got 2 topics that are directly gonna correlate into the draft. So I think this came out probably within the last 24 hours. So I'm gonna share it in 2 sides of it. First off, Derek Carr has our old boy, Derek Carr. He has a shoulder injury. Why is this important to us? Because he's a Saint. Saints might make a move.
My bad.
Saints might make a move at for 6. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Hey, and shout out to Ian Rappaport for breaking the news. So Saints suddenly have a major QB question. Starter Derek Carr is now dealing with a shoulder injury that threatens his availability for the season. Sources say Carr is weighing the options, including possibility of surgery. So if they don't have a quarterback, I think their backup is Spencer Rattler, and I think we saw Spencer Rattler in the game that we won. He didn't look too impressive out there. So will the Saints make a move for the 6th pick? Maybe that's our trade partner. We've talked about that, possibly moving down in the draft to 9 to 12 and getting more draft capital and picking a player at that point, whether it be a receiver. Now we have a need for a corner. That could be in the works. The other topic, really quick, hold on. Aidan O'Connell. Aidan O'Connell might be on the trading block come draft day, and they might use them for leverage to pick up some more draft capital. And again, this is from NFL rumors putting it out there. Man, this thing didn't come out right. All right, this is NFL rumors is the one that put it out there, but that is also what's being thrown out there that Aidan O'Connell might be traded up during the draft for some capital, either picking up another, third, or getting some type of package, including him in some type of package for more draft capital. What do you guys think about that? How you guys feeling?
So the Aidan O'Connell that originally was started or came from Vic Tafur, the Raiders beat writer. He initially in a recent article he kind of threw out and said the Raiders are going to be looking to trade Aidan O'Connell during draft night or draft day. So we'll see if that happens. I'm not mad at it, man. Like I said, we were talking about how the Raiders are clearly kind of taking a more long-term approach to their moves. They're not going to overspend. They're not going to, sign a guy that, they're not going to force anything. So if that's the case, then that means that they're not looking at a 2025 season as a season that they're going to go and, compete for the playoffs. I mean, they're going to try to play. They're going to try, but they're not going to, pretty much, their future. They're not going to literally give up their future just to win in 2025. Now, as far as the Derek Carr situation, that's crazy, especially this late, bro.
It's just so funny.
Putting a plot twist.
Hey, bro. Hey, Buddy was just flicking up in front of the Eiffel Tower with the fam 12 hours before that news came out. So I don't know.
That's
what
wild,
is,
man.
I'm just saying. I don't know what
that's
the deal
wild. And then also, shout out to someone in the chat was like, they see Genty going at number 3. If that happens, hey, that means that the Raiders get someone good. Someone's gonna drop.
Yeah,
someone good, and hopefully it's a the trap. I don't know. I don't see it happening, but you never know.
Travis, dog. Yeah, that's
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, that's what
we talking about. We got needs on both sides of the football. That's a guy that you could put at whatever spot that you want, depending on how you feel. So, but yeah, man, I think it's great news for the Raiders. This is great news. This is if a Shedeur is there at 6 or whoever,
Yep.
It's great news. But AOC, I seen you shaking your head, Rundown. I don't know if you agree with the AOC being traded, but I'm not. I'm kind of it don't really matter. I mean, it's not really a big deal if we lose him because it's another year, a new system. It's a different regime. He's just a backup QB. I think hey, if they can get something for him, I'm all for it.
Nah, you know me, man. I don't know how we ever gonna recover from trading Aidan O'Connell. Some people might jump ship, dog. I ain't gonna cap. Look, for me, bro, I don't give no two damns about that. That right there, bro, I don't care. Get him for whatever you can, right? Look, I saw my boy SoCal Sal, you feel what I'm saying? I trade him for a pack of beef jerky if I can. I do it. It don't matter, bro. Beef jerky, unsalted chips, whatever we can get, bro. Whatever's gonna nourish us. But for me, that kind of signals if we can pull that off. Another young quarterback is coming in here. Now, what round? We don't know, right? We don't know. I said this to somebody yesterday. I think I was talking to Pops or whoever. If they pass on Shedeur, just give me a good player. Right? That's all I care about. Just give me somebody good. Now, if it's up to me and he's there at 6, I'm taking Shedeur. That's what's gonna happen. But to me, it really signifies that I think a young quarterback is coming in here at some point. Who that will be, I don't know. But I think, they're looking at some options. I think they're looking at what they can get. I think probably around the Jackson Dart, maybe the guy Jalen Milroe range, they might want to look at that, depending on what they can do in the first round. But that Derek Carr thing is very interesting, very intriguing, bro. 2 weeks out, too. Like you said, very late. 2 weeks out, you got the shoulder injury. They need surgery. Season-ending surgery all of a sudden.
He's trying to leave the Saints. He don't like whatever's going on over there. It's all bad.
It's not
Yeah.
it, bro. I think honestly, yeah. And all of us, well, whoever is still out there, running and gunning for the Derek Carr campaign, I don't really think we should take that opinion serious anyway. It is. We know what that is, dog. Like, come on, dog. We've seen it. We know what it is already. It's too late. It's a good story that we could tell our kids and shit back in the day. Like, hey, man, 2016, we had it. But that's it. That's all we have now.
No, facts. This is a good comment in the chat saying that they disagree with me as far as how much we need on the team. And they said they only need 4 starters and a role player. Let's talk about it real quick. I mean, I don't know if you got time for that, but that's actually a good point. I mean, well, I won't say it's a good point, but if you think about it, all right, I would say they need there's running back. There's running back. Yeah. There's wide receiver.
Linebacker. I would say
linebacker.
You say
corner,
receiver?
That's 4.
Yeah, and
that's
corner.
4.
That's 4.
That's
guard.
4. Guard. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all confident about Alex Kappa? Is everybody confident about Alex Kappa?
My problem is Parham and Kappa. That's where I'm at. So I say
there you go,
guard, bro. So another
one. So that's 5. That's 5. I've seen some things from Raider beat writers talking about they might want to add some competition at tackle, which would be interesting for Glaze. But I like.
I don't
Glaze.
share that sentiment. I don't share that sentiment. I like Glaze. In my opinion.
Yeah, but they're saying that. I was kind of like when I seen it, I was like, nah, Glaze wasn't bad year 1. I mean,
I don't know why people are trying to do that, bro. Like we just like he was good enough for me to see how he progresses in year 2. That's like I don't want to mess with that right now.
But maybe you do you grab a left tackle?
Well,
maybe
this
makes her left tackle because Cole Miller's on his last year of his deal.
The whole offensive line thing is intriguing because it depends on how they're viewing them. Now, if there's dead ass serious about what they was talking about with that JPJ and going to guard, I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? What are we talking about? Like, why are we doing that? Why are we moving JPJ to guard and why are we doing all this extra stuff? It makes no sense. And real talk, we're making all these extra accommodations for one player on this goddamn offensive line. I think we all know who it is, and that's Dylan Parham. Bro, the man done moved 3 positions at this point if you move him to center. Left guard, right guard, center. How many goddamn positions on the line we got to figure out that he's just not that good? Like, so when are we going to figure this out? And this is not saying he can't be good, but if we're moving players that showed much promise at one position just to accommodate another, what does that tell you? That'll tell you that player is good.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And going back to and when we hit on cornerback as a need as a starter, would you say 2, an outside and a nickel? Would you consider,
bro?
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Because Will Johnson don't play nickel, and I've been telling people this for months, dog. I'm like, yes, I like Will Johnson, even when we had Jack Jones. But when we lose Nate Hobbs, we do not have a nickel, unless you want to say you're cool with Darnay Holmes starting for 17 games, if that's what you want to say.
Right. Yeah, man. But and we look, and you could also make a case for D tackle. Do we have a run stuff in D tackle on this roster right now? You know what I mean? I know Adam Butler, I like him, but he's I would say more of a pass rusher. Pass rushing. I don't know if he's.
We need a nose. We need a nose.
We need a nose, right?
Now you can get that later in the draft. You can get that maybe.
You can get that later draft. But I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just putting out like, what do we need? Like, what do we actually need? Like, these are and we have a certain amount of picks. And I'm not saying it's not possible to get that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, let's put it out. Let's write it down. You know what I mean? And I would say a nose tackle for sure.
Yeah. I thought Buddy played safety. I know you're talking about Harper. I know who you're talking about, but I thought he played safety, not nickel. So I don't know. I thought that was a safety.
Nah, yeah. I think he played safety. I think they re-signed Darnell Holmes. That's supposed to be the nickel.
That's the nickel.
But that's the nickel. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too confident about him, Darnell Holmes at nickel, but that's just me.
Nah. If I had a chance, we could trade. If we traded down and we got a Jade Barron, I'd take that all day. I'd do it because I think he can play nickel. But
you can play nickel and outside.
Yeah, I don't outside. I'm really not leaving him outside like that. I'd rather him be a nickel because I feel like his skill set's better. But if in a pinch, yeah, we can definitely put him outside, like you said. I definitely do that.
Right. Yeah, man. But yeah, look, hey, but the main point is that I feel like the Raiders do have a lot of needs. You can make a case. You can make a case that like, even though this is not a starter, who's the third pass rusher off the bench after Kuntz, who's on a 1-year deal?
This is
That's a big question mark too, because
hey, if
Kuntz,
Mason Graham is there, let's get it in, man.
Yep.
you know what I mean. But you know, I'm just throwing it out there, bro. I'm just being honest. I don't want to go. I've done this before, where you go into the NFL season, Raiders season, you be like, you're hoping for the best, but like in reality, like I feel like the Raiders do a good job of like hyping you up during the off season, and then like you come during the season, reality sets in. But
I'm already reality checked, man. 7 or 8 games was that's
Yep.
where I'm at. Maybe 9 is we win. You feel
we
what I'm
have a
saying?
really good season. Yep.
Yeah, but shit, we won 4 games last year. 7 or 8 is straight to me. That's good. You feel what I'm saying? That's good. We build. And now next year, I'm expecting 10. That's what I would expect if we win 7 or 8 this year.
Yeah. And even the fact that you mentioned linebacker, right? Some people might point to Devin White, like, Devin White. But they signed him to a 1-year, $1 million deal. You know what that means? That means that like they're ready to cut him. You know,
that man go on one shopping spree. It's over. Is what it means.
I mean, I'll take 1 year, 1 million. I'm just saying, but at the end of the day, like in NFL terms, that's not really a lot of invested in a linebacker who's been to after Tampa Bay. He's been to what the Eagles. If you can't get off in the Eagles, where you got talent everywhere to make you look good. I mean, from the D tackle, from pass rusher to the secondary, you can't stand out on that defense, or at least get your numbers up.
Well, you got a spot taken. He got a spot taken by a rook. I mean, or a 2nd-year dude, in my opinion, in the Kobe Dean. So then that was that. And then go to Houston, and this dude's getting suspended and injured, and then you still not playing. So it's like, if I can get a linebacker, bro, I'm getting that dude from UCLA, dog. I'd do it if I can. I'd do it. What's his name? Schlesinger? Oh, yeah. I like Buddy. Yeah. I like him.
Okay.
I like him.
Does he bring anything from like a pass coverage standpoint?
Yeah, that he'll be better at that than he'll give us kind of the contrast from a Landon Roberts. You feel what I'm saying? Where a Landon gonna give you the run stuffing. I can trust your boy Schlesinger to be out there and play solid zone and do what he got to do. Not be lost out there like some of our linebackers be. You feel what I'm saying? He's gonna be out there. He'll make some plays.
And I feel like Raider fans, they do this a lot. You know what I mean? I'm a Raider fan. I do this too sometimes. You try to project the best possible outcome, but in reality, like you gotta just see what it is. Like Atlanta Roberts, what he's shown throughout his career, he's a 2-down linebacker, run stuff a linebacker. He hasn't shown that he's a pass coverage linebacker. So that's a big need. Like whether it's Devin White, was Atlanta Roberts, we need someone that could, you could throw in there in a pinch and that could cover a running back or a tight end or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Hey, Nazo out here. The real talk though. Schlesinger, bro, I think that'd be a guy you can use that's better in coverage than Devin White. Now I don't know about the athleticism and speed, because like when Devin White is coming downhill and he's really being athletic, got the baby arm coming up, but when he's really being athletic, bro, like he's coming downhill, he's hard to deal with. Devin White is hard to deal with. So day one, Schlesinger ain't gonna be better as I'd say a pass rusher. Like you can use Devin White. But just being a true linebacker, I think he'll be better day one. Day one, he'll be better.
Okay. All right,
be able to start too. Actually, you take him, he's gonna start.
But is he gonna be there in the third, or are you gonna have to take him in the second?
No. Third? Are you talking about third round? No, you're probably gonna take him in the second round. No cap.
Damn.
You're probably gonna take him in the second. If he falls to the third, bro, it's draft malpractice. I ain't gonna cap. It's draft malpractice if he falls to the third round.
Because the second is when the second round, I feel like that's when you start looking at who the best running back on the board is.
This is where I start to get weary, bro. Because if 2 running backs go in the first and one goes early in the third, you're gonna have to take one. Like immediately, you're gonna have to take one at that 37, bro.
You know what got me a little nervous, bro? Maurice Jones-Drew was saying that he thinks that he's hearing that like Henderson, Trayvon Henderson, might go in the first. He said
if that happens,
a lot of
you
teams
have to take
first,
one. Yeah, if that happens, bro, you gotta take one in the second round, bro. No ifs, ands, or buts. You have to, because then you're gonna be left in the third with like Cam Scatterbo and Dylan Sampson. And like I like him,
Yeah.
but I don't like him better than Judkins and some of these other dudes. I don't like him better than that.
Yeah.
Man, damn, bro. Like that's the thing, bro. The draft is so unexpected. That's why I can't wait to.
Because then you just said, bro, like maybe a corner in the second round, but it's like, God damn, if three running backs go in the first, we're screwed. Unless you took Will Johnson in the first round, and then you're chilling.
But
right?
you know how it works though. Like usually when let's say like a certain position gets drafted, there's like a run.
Exactly.
The next team start grabbing one. Like it's like 2 or 3 teams after that start grabbing.
They follow suit. Yep.
And in that scenario, you probably like we coming away with a Will Howard or something like that because you wait until later to get a quarterback with everything that you're gonna have to get in these earlier rounds.
Right. Hey, I want to touch on something too. Like you started off the show talking about Geno Smith's contract, and like, hey, you know what? I kind of been a critic of the Raiders when it comes to hiring.
I'm gonna touch on this.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
And just because of the age, I'm like, damn, you just fired a coach after 1 year, and then you hire the oldest coach all the time. Like how long is that? How long is this guy gonna be there? You know, how long is he gonna be coaching the team? Like well into his 80s. I mean, it looks like it, you know, but he could easily year one be like, hey man, like my health is declining. I gotta go, you know. So it's kind of crazy that they made that type of move, but you know, the other side to it is like the Raiders didn't have a lot of options,
right?
But I say all that to say is that I was critical, but I'm seeing the impact of getting a Carroll. It seems like people want to play for Carroll.
Yeah,
a lot of people want to play for Carroll.
Yeah,
and Geno Smith, he took a huge discount.
Major
discount.
Very
because Seattle was going to give him more. No, Seattle's slotted to give him more, like, bro.
Seattle was like they gave him like something cool, and like he just said no. It was to the point where Seattle was like, oh yeah, he don't want to be here.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and the first team they called was
I think it was like $40 million per. Something
right,
like that.
Right. Which technically he's getting in this season. He's getting $40 million this season, but like it's literally a 2-year deal. $75 million, 2 years, $75 million. I think $10 million in like, incentives and stuff like that. But they can get out of that contract in 2026, which is wild, man.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, for me, bro, I remember I went on your show with you and Severe.
Right.
And then we talked about, Pete. And then this, I know we didn't sign major dudes or whatever the case, but you can see that there's an energy like, okay, I actually want to play for this dude. I want to compete there. And as the years continue, bro, like let's say next year, right? Say we do win 7 or 8 games, but we look better. We look scrappy, right? We look like, all right, they actually are competent and they have adults in the building. And if that's the case, bro, what's going to happen next year? We're going to get even better talent. Even more people that's like, well, you know what? I do want to go play with Pete, bro. I'd rather go over there and play with them in Vegas where the tax ain't all that bad. Mm-hmm. I got a coach that I know I can play with. I got other players in there that maybe share the mindset like Max and some of our other guys up in here, bro. Like, this a building stone. Again, I felt like Pete was therapy. Like that's what the fuck we need therapy, bro. Like right now we need somebody steady, bro. Like you've been in the relationships, dog. We've all been in there. Before you get your wifey, man, you was with the wild one.
Yeah.
After that, bro, after that wild one, you was like, I gotta calm that down, dog. Yeah, I gotta. It was a fun experiment. But I gotta calm the hell down.
Yeah, exactly.
I get in real trouble.
Shout out to New England Raider boosters. He came on with us on the show and he debated Severe about
I remember
about
that.
About Carroll.
Yep,
Carroll being a good option. Obviously, he ended up getting hired, but yeah, man, I'm buying into it. This is around the time where I'm like, all right, I can see where things make sense. I'm really excited about Spytek. I want to see what he does with his first draft. I know that they didn't come out and say who has the final say on who's picking who and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I think Pete Carroll's known to work well with GMs. He did with John Snyder. He lets GMs be GMs, and I think y'all should check out like the an interview that The Athletic had on their pod. It was pretty good with the Seattle Seahawks beat writer. He talks about like the impact of Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. It's a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
But he talks about the dynamic. They talk about the dynamic between Pete Carroll and the GM John Snyder as well. And like, you know, Pete Carroll's not one of those guys like, oh, hey, we got to get this guy. Like, he's more of like, hey, I'm gonna trust the GM to do his job. And like, that's a night and day difference to what we've experienced with the Mike Mayock's and the John Grudens, and you know, even Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. That was a weird situation when we found out. You know?
AP. Yep, exactly. Yep. That was a broken relationship. Man,
Right.
they look like they didn't even want to be there around each other, man, in the same room and even the same building at times.
Right.
You see with Spytech and Pete, it's like they're in line. Their vision is aligned, and that's what I've said before. The vision has to be aligned. It doesn't have to be exact, but you're like, hey, this is what we want to accomplish. We're gonna go ahead and get there. So long as we agree on the majority of the stuff, we can make that happen. And we're starting to see that. You know.
Yeah. So, facts, man. And are we gonna keep Michael Mayer?
I hope so. I really hope so. I want us to, bro. Like, I don't think it's beneficial to, especially with the receiver room looking the way it looks, bro. And we just talked about the draft, right? We just sat here and said, damn, we might have to get a linebacker round 2. We might have to get a running back round 2. We ain't saying nothing about no receiver. And look at this goddamn room. So it's like, where are you going to draft that at? Because that needs to happen. I don't care what nobody tells me, dog. You have to get a receiver. Just getting a running back in the first round is not going to quell what this offense is going to look like towards the middle of the season, dog. I guarantee you we are going to be frustrated towards the middle of the season if you just think a running back is going to solve the problem. It's not. I guarantee you it's not. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I agree, man, because I was thinking about it. Like, if the Raiders really want to get creative, they're gonna have to figure out how do we start addressing some of these needs. Yeah, they can probably get a T-Mac maybe early, but then are they going to get a corner later? You know what I mean? Are they going to get, you know, so if the Raiders could trade down, maybe take a Will Johnson who probably fits Pete Carroll's system. You mentioned Jade would probably be nice. I mean, do you see him as an outside guy? He's more of like a nickel. Right?
Yeah, he's more of a nickel. That's
the Siobhan Reveal from East Carolina
looks.
I ain't gonna cap. There's 2 dudes that I think are the Pete Carroll mold. You might be able to get him in round 2 if talking about corners, and that's Siobhan Reveal from East Carolina and that Trey Amos from Ole Miss.
Yeah,
they long. You know what I mean? They play that kind of off zone coverage that you looking for, bro. Like I think them 2 you might be able to get round 2, maybe 3.
Right. Oh, damn. 3rd round. Okay.
Amos, maybe. It just depends because he ran good at the goddamn 40. His 40 was good and his combine was good. So he might get pushed up. But ahead of Maxwell Harrison, maybe not. I mean, there's Benjamin Morrison is still out there. You feel what I'm saying? And he was hurt. So there's a lot of dudes, bro, that he can get pushed down. I think he does fit the mold, though.
Yeah. Amos, I think, he plays a lot of zone. I feel like the Raiders defense has been a lot of zone recently with Patrick Graham. And then you combine it with Pete Carroll, who likes to run like a lot of cover 3. I don't know. Did Pete Carroll change his system over the years?
I know he's kind of a mix of that same old system, same old stuff. That's why he likes the corners the way they are. Right. So immediately, like, I looked at Amos and I saw his measurements and I'm like, oh yeah, no, he fits. He fits.
Okay. Yeah, man. So look, we could prioritize the trenches early too. That's an option. There's a lot of different ways that they can address.
Now, would you be mad if they went O-line at 6?
No, I wouldn't be mad. I know. Maybe
6 is rich, but damn.
If we trade down,
like Will Campbell,
I wouldn't be mad if they feel like that's their number 1 guy. But I would love a trade down though. I would love a trade down. I feel like if we trade down, we can get some good value because there's some tackles that you probably maybe a Josh. Simmons, the Ohio State tackle.
A lot of people like him, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can grab him if you trade down. I mean, there's a few guys that you could probably get if you do that trade down. I don't know how you feel about a Will Campbell, but Will Campbell is kind of like that tweener. Some people feel like he might be a guard in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to take him early.
A guard at 6 is rich. The guard at 6 is rich.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
And see, doing a lot of these shows, like all of us do, bro, like, you start talking about the draft, you understand the theme, which is like, damn, I like this dude, but not at 6. Like, and that's a lot of guys in this draft, bro. There's only like 3 guys where I'm like, yeah, I definitely take him at 6, no question. Thank you. I definitely take him at 6, no question. Like, you talking about Travis Hunter. If Abdul Carter falls, hey, so be it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My guy, East Coast, man. What up, Dante? What's the deal, bro?
Salute.
But
Salute.
yeah, man. I mean, now I don't know how you feel about Mason Graham. I'll snag a Mason Graham if I can, if he
For
For
falls.
sure. But I'm getting scared, man. Like, because the whole draft process, like the whole offseason is like a process. Like, you like a guy early, and then you start hearing some things, you start seeing some things, and you're like, I'm kind of scared. Like, some people scare me with the Mason Graham, like, a little bit. But we'll see. I'll take him. I wouldn't be mad at it. It makes sense to me. Like, why don't you make a good strength even better?
That's where I'm at,
and that's
bro.
the Eagles. That's how the Eagles are built, the way they keep adding in the trenches. They keep adding at certain premium positions. And look at them. Look at that roster.
For me, bro, I'm with you, because this is where I've started to just say, with this draft process, I got to do my own thing. How did I feel when I was watching this man live in the fall? How did I feel? Did I like him? Did I not like him? Okay, I liked him. Cool. Then I went back and watched some more tape. I definitely like him. Now I'm not gonna let nobody else tell me, like, oh man, I think this is a concern. Now, of course, I'm not gonna be like naive and say this man has no faults. Of course he has faults, right? That he has to work on. But the way I look at it is, if you take Mason Graham, you tell me the team on this D line, when it's all healthy, that's gonna say, man, we're gonna have to double team Mason Graham, and you got Christian Wilkins, and you got Max Crosby, and you got all these guys over here. You're not gonna do that. Nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you're saying out of that D line that you must double team Mason Graham, well, we made the right goddamn pick at that point, because that means that man is dominating to the point, with all them names, that you have to give him that much extra attention. He's not going to have that many double teams he's got to fight through, which right now I think he's got to work a little bit on the power, but he's not going to have to do that much right now with this D line. He's not going to have to do that many double teams like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get one-on-one
probably not going to start. He's probably not going to start.
He's rotating, bro, and that's what I'm saying. We rotate. Now, if I could if I put him next to just one play, man, I got Adam Butler over here, I got Christian Wilkins over here, in which all of them can play all 5 spots of the D line, right? I can play Christian Wilkins on all 5 spots, Mason Graham all 5 spots, Adam Butler same thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so Tyree same thing, bro. This D line is too monstrous. You can't do anything about that. I think that's you do that no brainer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Facts. No, I agree. I hear you. Is there? I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts, man. Like, is there like an edge guy that you would take early or trade down and grab? Is
Shedeur Carter for you? There's no question. But I mean,
that's a given. I mean, but he's probably gonna go in the first. Like, he's gonna go. He's gonna go in the first.
It depends how you categorize him, but I like Jalen Walker. Because we be able to use Jalen Walker like in a multitude of ways. We want to put him on the edge next to a Kuntz, right? Next to Max. We can do that. Put him back with Devin White, with Elandon Roberts, to let him rush from the traditional linebacker spot. He can do that. So I think, and he was, his leadership quality at Georgia. They say he was that dude, like the dude of the dude. So I like it.
And the only reason why I bring up edge is because earlier I was talking about how, like, hey, Kuntz is on a 1-year deal. Let's say Kuntz balls out. Okay. He gets like 10 to 15 sacks, balls out. He bounces back from an ACL injury. Is Spytek going to be giving him a long-term deal? When he
depends what he does.
He gave the bag to Max at the same position. Or is he gonna draft someone? This is where Tyree, it hurts because Tyree is not developing into that guy where gives the Raiders leverage in negotiating those types of.
Now, real quick, man, we the people. You've been sitting here making some sense now. Now I know the goddamn well you're not sitting here saying that Abdul Carter and Tyree Wilson are the same level of prospect. I know you're not saying that. Let's not do that, bro. I don't give a fuck what his foot injury is, dog. That man had 1 foot, 1 shoulder in the playoffs and still did what he did. So I don't want to hear that. No, sir, no, sirree. I'm not.
He just probably has Tyree trauma. That's probably.
Now
what
I get it. You talking about foot, but
sometimes
it's not the same guy.
I don't know.
Hell no.
I know.
I take that 10 out of 10, bro. If that man fell, like for instance, right? Because people saying, oh, we paid Kuntz, like you said, and all these things, bro. But there has to be some type of edge. I've been saying it for 2 years. Shout out my man Leo, bro. 2 years, bro. I mean, like, bro, we got to get an edge, dog. We have to, because just to get the rotation where it needs to be. Not all these guys are Max Crosby. Not all these guys need to be playing full snaps. And shout out Max, but not even he needs to be playing all the snaps. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's good and dandy to see, but now that he's getting older in his career, he needs to start having more plays where he's getting some plays off and he comes in on impactful downs, like all these other pass rushers in the goddamn NFL, bro. That's why all these other dudes all of a sudden, oh, it's a major third down, he gets a sack. Oh, because they're fresh. They have a rotation, right? Like, so get that man there. I like James Pierce. If he falls towards the second round, he's cold. What's that man from Marshall? Mike Green. If we can get a Mike Green, I like Mike Green. He's nice. Dude from UCLA, Oladejo, he's cold. I like some of that, bro. But there's multiple guys, bro, that we can grab. I think that we be able to look at and be straight.
How you feel about James Pierce from Tennessee?
James, bro, he's cold, bro. He's cold. I think he's got a bag on him already coming in now. Already he's got some, hella elusive moves at that pass rush. We got to work on some power, but again, shit, he's rotating. Who cares? You feel me? He's rotating.
Man, we the people, man. He harsh, bro. He calling Travis Hunter a bust. Bust.
You might get banned for that, dog. You might get banned for that. I'm sorry. Where?
He said it earlier. He says that, like, if Hunter's there at 6, Raiders basically should draft him because he got bust all over him.
That is to me, bro, that is the one prospect in this draft where I feel like if he's not great, he's at least gonna be good. At least.
Oh yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? I don't see
one side of the ball, the other. Yeah, one side of the ball, the other. He's gonna be good.
I don't see him being
I see him maybe playing like corner majority and then just have like a package on offense. You know what I mean? That's
easier that way.
Yeah, it's easier to like use his talents that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it's easier to build a game plan on the offensive side than it is on the defensive side. So it's like I can build some routes and concepts for you here. It's harder for me to be like, yeah, you got to go against Tyreek Hill and all this extra shit over here for a couple plays. Like, yeah, that don't work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But I got to get up out of here. I'll stay longer than I should. But I appreciate you, bro. Been a great show, man. Great conversation. Hopefully we do this again. Hopefully, hey, we got to get y'all on, man, around the Shield.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do
a weekly show, me and Severe. We do the 50-50 show, but that Around the Shield is more like we want to get people on, man. We want to get people and talk to them because everybody got a different perspective, and we respect that. So we want to get y'all on soon, man. But
let's do that, bro. Draft
we'll tap in with each other.
Of course, man. Hey, be safe out there, man. You already know.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, salute to the chat. Salute to the nation, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate you tapping in, brother. Thanks for
all good, man.
All right. Yep.
Salute to the family, man. Salute to the family. That's our guy, Pharaoh, man. Make sure you guys check him out on the 50-50 show with our other family, man. Severe, man. They be shutting it down, bro. Everybody out here eating. Everybody, man, living good. So I love to see it, man. Everybody prosper.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys head on over to his channel. I have his link pinned in the description on both channels. So make sure you just guys head on over, click that link, hit that sub for him for sure. Great show. I tap in regularly with Severe and Pharaoh for sure, man. Good shit. But let's keep it rolling. But before we do, let's go ahead and shout out the chat. We had to do it. We had to just kind of get right into it. Unfortunately, he had a limited amount of time. So I just wanted to go ahead and dive into it. But for sure, man, we can't forget about the chat. Appreciate everyone pulling up with us on this Saturday morning. Really quick, go back up top here and just do a quick roll call. Shout out to my guy, Robert Pena. Thanks for pulling up, my guy. Let's see here. We the people, salute.
What's the deal?
Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, SoCal Sal. Appreciate you pulling up. Leo, what is good, my guy?
What's the deal?
Yes, sir. Jeffrey in the building. What is good, my guy? My guy Geomex, what it do? Thanks for pulling up. Jack, what it do, brother? Thanks for pulling up. My guy over there on my channel. Raider Rebel, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good. Thanks for pulling up. Yes, sir. Here we go. Let me go down here. Rafa in the building. What's up? What's good, brother? I see you on the chat. And we're gonna definitely take some questions, more questions here in just a bit. Let me see here. My guy Lord Rachitas, what is the deal, brother? Thanks for pulling up. Uh, Bloody Raider, what is good, brother? Uh,
What's going on, brother, man? What's the deal?
yeah,
What's the deal?
Nazo, man, he had come with the questions, bro.
Facts,
Uh,
facts. He does. He has some good questions.
yeah. Hey, my guy James with the Raiders. I got to do it the right way, bro.
Raiders! One time. One time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But hey, thanks for everyone pulling up. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but let's get back into it, man. So the draft plan. Obviously, we talked about Derek Carr. That might be an angle that the Saints might go ahead and make a move for our sixth pick. That might be the trade partner. What do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, bro? I mean, you know, I think us having going through so much turmoil to try to get to even this position to possibly trade back and help out the Saints. I mean, man, it's just crazy. And the way that this shit kind of unfolded, like 2 weeks out before the draft, is just insane. I mean, but how you feel? Like, how you feeling about us making a move with New Orleans to go ahead and trade back and get some more draft capital at 9?
If we were to do it, for sure. Like I said, I just want somebody good. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
if Shedeur was the pick and they said like nah, like we rather trade down and you know get more capital and do that. Okay, fine. Just give me a good player at some point and find us a good successor as far as the quarterback position. You know what I mean? That's all I ask. I'm not gonna be angry or whatever the case, unless the player we pick is trash and then Shedeur ends up being good, and then at that point I'm gonna come out here and it's gonna be one of those. But other than that, bro, just give me somebody good, right? That like last year, right? We wanted a quarterback. We wanted most of us wanted Jay Daniels. We wanted,
Mm,
maybe a Michael Penix or something like that. We ended up getting Brock Bowers. We're not complaining now. We don't care, right? We got
mm,
somebody good. That's all that matters. So just do that. If we can get extra capital, good, because that's kind of what we need. Going into, like we just talked about, bro. There's so many positions that we need to grab, and it's like, damn, I want to grab it here, or damn, I want to grab it here. You can't really do it. You know what I mean? Because it gets dicey, right? Because
yeah.
you have to prioritize needs. So just depends, bro. But me, I would want to take the quarterback, but if they did it, so be it. Let's get somebody good.
Yeah, same. I hope that we get Shador. I mean, I'm biased, so whatever. But and you guys heard my opinion last week on that. Why we should go ahead and get Shador at 6. I mean, this is if you're looking to go ahead and make a run and really go after the Super Bowl, because I don't think Gino will take us to that point. He'll take us deep in the playoffs, but not to the point where we're going to be playing for a Super Bowl, right? I mean, hopefully that's the case. Maybe, hopefully I'm wrong. I really do, but realistically, I don't think that's the case. So who's going to be your best option? And he's only here for 3 years, right? Maybe 4.
Right. Right.
But realistically, the way that contract is shaped out. So who's going to take over after year 2 into year 3 and so on and so forth? We don't have an answer at this point.
No.
AOC, we talked about AOC possibly getting traded during the draft for more capital, right? To get either another third, fourth, whatever other round pick.
Yeah.
That could happen. So if that's true, they don't see him being here in the future either. And I mentioned that I don't even know if he's gonna make it on this roster because he just doesn't fit into the system. So
Right.
I think that we still get Shador. But if that's the case, they decide to go ahead and move back a few spots and get some more draft capital. Hey, I'm with that, and hopefully we address a need at that point, and whether it be Will Johnson or somebody else. If Mason falls that far down, we get him at 9. That'd be great. Another
Right.
thing that could potentially happen too, and let's say we don't make a move with New Orleans, they could jump over us. They can make a deal with Jacksonville,
Well, maybe that
and
could be the
switch.
plan. I've heard, that might be more likely of the plan. And see, I'm over here putting my man's in his little seat. But
Are you
yeah,
good?
I mean, I think that's more likely the plan because then you can get somebody to fall to you, right? In the
Yeah.
draft. You probably get somebody to fall to you more likely if you were to get that, somebody to trade up before you. Maybe you playing chess, not checkers right now.
Yeah. And like we said this before, it's just like I think we're in a good position where we can let the board play to us as opposed to us playing the board.
Right.
Right. So whether if that happens and let's say New Orleans jumps over us and they go ahead and get Shedeur, hey, that means somebody else is gonna fall to us.
Exactly.
If it's true where Chicago go ahead and make a move and go up in the draft, right?
Right.
And get Genty, cool. That's good for us. That means
Right.
somebody else is going to fall to us. So there's different options that we can go ahead and do. And I'm all for Aidan O'Connell being used as a chess piece
Mm-hmm.
to go ahead and get more capital. I don't know if realistically it'll be just by himself. It'll be like, hey, we're going to give you our seventh and our sixth, one of our sixes, along with O'Connell. You give us this pick, and it's going to be a team that kind of needs a backup. It's going to be like that kind of scenario. It won't necessarily be in the first. And I know that's probably what everybody's thought process is going in when they see that. It's just like, oh shit. They might trade on to get back into the first. And it might be for a third round pick. It might be for a fourth round pick. At this point, we got 9 draft picks. We need more. And we address what, 5, 6 positions right now with Farrell.
Yep.
So we need more. Yeah. So I'm all for it. He doesn't fit into the system, and I've said that he's just not a mobile quarterback. The way
Nah, he
that
don't fit.
the way that Chip Kelly wants to run this office just doesn't fit. I'm sorry,
No, it don't.
and it's just one of those things. So we're starting to see that come to fruition, though. But
Yeah, I think honestly, bro, like, Frank does say it, like Shedeur is kind of a luxury pick, if that's what you want. Like, but I still do it regardless of it, bro. Like I said, I mean, everybody when you talk about him, it either goes one way or it goes another way. And realistically, people at this point, when you talk about Shedeur, people like very few and minimal people have a realistic take at this point. Very few and minimal. Um, it goes more off emotion, based off that. So, if they do it, there's gonna be a lot. If they do pull the trigger on him, like say if he falls at 6 and they're saying, "No, we're gonna get him," there's gonna be a lot of people mad, right? There's gonna be a
yeah,
lot of people mad. Not me though. I mean, but yeah, a lot of y'all gonna be mad, and not me. I'm gonna be
yeah,
on here celebrating. I might even mute the comments. I might even go cap. I might even mute the comments. Celebrate by ourselves, man, because I
yeah,
don't care. But regardless, bro, if that's what we did, then so be it. Like I said, but if you trade down, be smart about your trade down. Be smart about what you're doing, like what the capital we get. If we trade down, we need an extra second. An
yeah,
extra second round is a must. You cannot have no trade down and get no extra or second round out of that. So got to get that. If you can get another third out of that too, do that. So
oh yeah,
definitely be
totally.
good.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I've said it. Meat and potatoes of this draft is going to be rounds 2 to 5. That's
Right.
really where you can get like the good talent from that. And we talked about the corners to pick up a realistic, like a really good corner. We're probably going to have to go back into the first or somewhere in the second to be able to go ahead and pick that guy up. So if we're
Mm-hmm.
looking, so let's say we get Will Johnson, we still need a nickel. You can go back into the first, possibly get Jade. I mean, it's a
If
possibility.
that's what you
Or
wanted to do, that's a little
yeah,
rich. But if that's what we're trying to do, sure.
yeah. I mean, they do like Jade. That there's been some reports that they really are interested in him. Now, obviously, things could change. Anything could happen, y'all.
Right.
Somebody could get picked up, and we're gonna have to go to Plan B. So, but there's options, and that's a
Right.
good, you know. Um, But let's go ahead and take some questions from the chat.
Yes, sir, man. Before we end the show, I'm gonna make sure everybody's tapping on the like button, tapping on the subscribe button. We here every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We got 2 more Saturdays. Actually, our Saturday show in 2 weeks is gonna be a draft show because we're gonna have
Mhm.
to because we're gonna be live during the draft. No, I think they go, yeah, we're gonna be live
Yeah.
during the draft. So yeah, in 2 weeks, man, make sure you tap in with us here on the Good Morning Raiders. Because we are going to be giving you that live draft coverage on that
Yes,
Saturday,
sir.
man, as you know. So for the first round, we still figuring out what we're gonna do. It's probably gonna be a big one, but I know it's gonna be
Yep.
me and Jay in the morning on that
Yep.
Saturday one.
Yep. It's gonna be us for sure in the morning, and we might have to just run it kind of. We're gonna have to run like a special long show or something like that.
Oh, bro, if we're picking, like, if we got, because they got what on Saturday, it's rounds 2 and 3, and then the
Oh, I
rest
think
on.
it's Saturday is because it's the last day, so it's like rounds 4 through
Oh, that's 4,
7.
4, 7, 4, 7. I forgot
Yeah.
they start on Thursday. I thought they
Friday
started on
is 2
Friday.
and 3. Yeah, Friday's 2 and 3, and I think Saturday is like the rest of the round. But the cool thing is that they're gonna go through the round. The time is shorter for them to pick, so
Right.
they're just gonna run through the picks.
Now,
So
why
we
do
get
they
like
sit here and start
5
on
minutes.
Thursday, bro? That's so dumb.
That is dumb. I don't know. If they were smart, they would start on Friday and go through Sunday.
Exactly. I thought that's what it used to be, bro. I remember the draft used to be going into the weekend, bro.
Yeah,
Or am I getting too old now? Is that what's going on?
probably, bro. I don't
Yeah, I
know,
think I'm
dude.
getting
It's
old, bro.
something.
Because now that shit ain't what I like. How I remember.
Yeah, yeah. I know. They moved it from New York. Now they're doing it everywhere. So
Yeah,
this year's in Green Bay. Last year was in Detroit. That's where our guy Leo,
they
uh,
saw the
Chris,
legendary Brock Bowers
Chris,
pick and
yep.
turf threw a fit.
Through, yep. Hey, shout out to Leo. Go to his channel. You guys can see the reaction from last year from
That was
Fred
hilarious.
Chris.
That was hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, it's all about TV ratings,
So why are you
man,
getting
for
mad?
sure. Yeah, yeah. Hey, salute to God Family Raiders. Appreciate you pulling up. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's take some questions here from the chat. Make sure you guys go ahead and put in your questions in the chat. Obviously, supers are more than welcome. So I appreciate you guys for the support. Our guy Nazo, get ready for everyone to get upset with what the Raiders do. Best scenario is trade down no later than the 12th, get a second rounder and another late round next year or this year. There
I
you go.
like
I'm
it.
not mad at that. Yeah, I'm not mad at that for sure.
I
I'm
like it.
definitely open to that. And that's the thing. If you a lot of shit could happen. Teams could trade up into the top 5, and we might not like what's there. So maybe the move at that point is to trade back
Right.
into 9, into 12, whatever, and go ahead and kind of regroup and get our guy, whatever the pick is. If it's going to be a corner, if it's going to be a tackle, offensive or defensive, or receiver at that point. I mean, receiver at 9 is not it's not a stretch. So
It just depends who's on the board, bro. It just depends, like what 1 through 4 does for real, for real. What picks 1 through 4, or even 5 do, and then from there, like where that'll tell us everything.
exactly. Shout out to Louise. If we pass on Shedeur and Melrose for viewers or Howard, that is an F. Okay, don't do that, Raiders.
Hey.
Hey, man. I mean, that
I'll
might
take
be
Will
the move.
Howard damn near over Milrow.
I don't know if I don't know if they would pass on Shedeur for Melrose. I mean, they could, but um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel the best recipe for success, quarterback feature wise, is going to be Shedeur Sanders. That's going to be potentially available to us. But hey, Saints can make a move, jump over us, snatch them up. Because if Carr is out for the year, that means they need a quarterback, and
Yeah.
that might be the case. So let's see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Our guy Frank, I will always associate the draft with breakfast food, leftover pizza, and morning shots and beer.
That's a
Well,
fact. Well, not off the morning shots and beers, but yeah, that's a fact off the everything else.
well, depends how the first round went. I mean, that might be the case, bro. To go ahead and kind of like
To drown the pain, you feel what I'm saying? Now we
drown the
smoking the pain
pain,
away
bro.
over here, man. But regardless of it,
Yeah,
man,
or
yeah, we doing it.
some what is it? Wake and bake, bro. Gotta
Oh
get
yeah,
some wake and
yeah,
bake to
that's a
like
must.
ease the pain sometimes,
That's a must.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy. I am not bueno. I seen an article that the Raiders started their offseason program with 20 guys short. Shit, trade back and fill those roster spots. Yeah, bro. I mean, there's this. It's a need. We're needy right now. But the thing is,
Yeah,
like, I don't want anybody to panic yet because yeah, we got the draft. We got 9 picks so far. That might increase to 10, 11, 12, and then you still got the off-season cuts, the past training camp,
yeah,
where you're gonna have guys available because, and this is a misconception sometimes that these guys suck. It's just these guys sometimes don't fit into a system, right? It's just we've seen that happen. Like for example, we just had Chase on come over
yeah,
from I forgot what the last team he was, and it's just he didn't fit into any team, but he worked with us. He fit into our system, and look how he performed. Now he's with New England because New England's running a similar defensive system like us.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just about what fits. So we're gonna be able to go ahead and pick up our spots from there too. So
yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of don't hit the panic button yet, for sure. Our guy Leo, I'll take Howard over Melrose. Shoot,
Facts.
I'll take Riley Leonard over Melrose.
Oh, you trip? Yeah, you tripping off that one. I don't know about that one, but you tripping off that one. Uh, but looking at this, bro, like I don't know. I think we have to get a second. That's the number 6 overall thing, and if you coming out of the top 10, you feel what I'm saying? Um, to come up, if you're coming out of the top 10, like number 12, to come up to 6, you're gonna have to give me a second round. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now 9 to 6 is little easier pill to say. You maybe just give him a third round, like you can say that. But other than that, like nothing really, nothing really too major off that. Now, the whole thing I said was Pharaoh was here, and I didn't really expound upon it. I think we can touch on that. If you look at the way the top 30 visits have gone, and you look
Mhm.
at kind of now the news of the Raiders saying, yeah, we might want to get rid of AOC, get rid of Aidan O'Connell, it points in the direction of a young quarterback coming in here. Even Pete Carroll and John Spytek's comments, right? Like they've been saying, yeah, there's a lot of young prospects in there. We're not going to close our minds to talent. So if that's the case, they've had pretty much a top 30 visit with all of the quarterbacks except Cam Ward.
Yeah,
So I mean, what does that tell you?
yeah, exactly. Because we know that we're not going to go up and we're not going to trade up for Cam and give up draft capital for that,
Right.
especially the way
No, you're not
we're
doing that.
looking right now. No, no, no. So that's super reaching. But we know that most likely Shedeur is going to fall to us, right? So
Yep.
that might be the guy. And his visits next week,
Yeah.
and also darts. So we got 2 guys that can potentially be there for us that we can go ahead and address also the quarterback situation because I know we got Gino and all that. I get it, but at the same time too, he might not work out, and
Yeah.
that's a real possibility. Or he can get injured. We just saw what's going on with Derek Carr. He can get injured next season and miss the
We
whole
don't know what's gonna happen,
2026 season.
man. We just don't know
We
what's
don't
gonna
know.
happen.
Yeah, you got to be ready. So drafting a quarterback should still be on the docket, and we should not. We shouldn't dismiss it. We should definitely go ahead and address it for sure.
Right.
But if it doesn't happen to us, it doesn't happen for us at 6 with Shador. I'm not mad at it. That means we have options, and that's what Gino gives us. We're not desperate for it, so I'm not mad at that for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then I think we covered the. Did we go over the visits? I think I
No,
took
we
them
can
on.
go over some of the top 30 visits that we kind of have. Let me see. I think I got it over here,
You
man.
got
We
it. All
got
right, cool.
Yeah, I got it. So go ahead, pull it up a little bit. But yeah, we got some top 30 visits that I think we got to go ahead and talk about. Especially I think, it kind of signifies where we kind of want to go as far
Mhm.
as the draft may be concerned. Now, again, I'm reading the tea leaves and I'm thinking a young quarterback at some point is coming in here.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I think it depends where you want. Now, we have one with Jackson Dart. We had one that was last week. Ashton Genty was last week. Will
Mm-hmm.
Johnson is coming up this next week. Um, they already did one with Mason Graham. That was this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shedeur is next week.
Yeah. They did Melrose
Jade
last
Barron is
this
next week as
past week.
well. But again, this is another, you know, Jordan Reed, I think he's a draft analyst. He comes out, or ESPN, he comes out and says several sources around the league have said that Texas cornerback Jade Barron could be a possible target for the Raiders if they decide to trade down in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, I think they're looking to trade down. They're trying, and there's people they like. It just depends how they want to go about it.
Yeah, exactly. And what we'll get for it. So it
What we will
also has
get
to make
for it.
sense. Yeah, it has to make sense on that part too. We can't just be like, okay, cool, we're gonna trade down to 9, and you just give us we're gonna trade first, and you give us a second. Like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, we gotta do a little bit better than that, and
Right.
that's Spytek's job. That's really where his salesmanship comes through. I'm like, bro, you got to make we got to make sure that you're getting a lot for it.
Yep. Yep.
Take advantage of their situation because they're needy for a quarterback, right? I mean, they were already talking about possibly moving on from Carr the following season, right? Because I think they're going to get a $44 million dead cap if they cut him. So they decided it's rather cheaper to keep her than let her go, right?
Exactly.
As the saying goes. But in 2026, 2027, I don't see him potentially being there. So that means they're in a similar position that like us, where they need to try to find a quarterback for their future, right?
100%.
Yeah, especially with their new head coach. I mean, he is definitely offensive oriented for sure. Hey, shout
100%.
out to our guy Raider Ray. This draft
What's the
isn't
deal?
filled with stars at the top. We aren't going to fill every hole. In a weak draft, I'm taking the best player available. Ashton Genty changes the identity of your offense. Get the best players. I mean, look, we're not high on Genty at 6.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if he's going to change the offense that much. If we pick him, great. Then our expectation is okay. This dude needs to be running about 14 plus 100 yards every season. That's the type of production that we need to be
15.
getting out. 50. There you go. 15.
15.
1,500, right? Or more. Or
Needs to
more.
be a top 5 perennial, damn near top 3 perennial, running back in the league. Like
Yeah.
he cannot fall off of that if that's the case, bro.
And that means we're not getting another running back. I know I've touched on like double dipping, but if you're getting a guy like Genty, there's no need for that because that's your workhorse. This guy is used to getting a certain number of snaps handed to him. So you're really going to be working him, and that's what he's there for. So and that works also too to our advantage. We can pick up another receiver. We can shift gears a little bit, but at 6, I feel like with this running back class, I don't know.
Yeah,
My
just that,
guy,
Dixon. Exactly, bro. At this point, bro, like if you listen to some of these fans, bro, we're gonna wait till 2040
I
to
know.
get a quarterback to finally draft one. To not be scared to draft one, but it's okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Uh my guy Luis, I hope we draft Sanders. I would be happy because that man want to win. Facts, bro. I
Talk
mean,
that
look,
stuff.
every team that he's gone into, he's changed that organization. He's changed that team. So I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, having him sit behind Gino for a year, it's going to do him good. I mean, we know the benefits of it, so I don't see it as a bad thing. It's an investment towards your future, and like we said, anything can happen where Gino might not play 2026 for injury or whatever. Something could happen. You
Right.
never know. This league changes overnight sometimes, and that's just how it is. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, you still gotta plan for the future for sure.
100%.
Uh, Leo's like, we're waiting for Carr to be a free
Facts.
agent.
The savior.
The savior, man. The prodigal son returns. Oh man, that's funny. Let me take a few more questions here. Um,
Come on, keep it
just
short.
DJ, have y'all looked at the draft value chart on Over the Cap? The value for 6 does not equate to the Raiders getting a second round pick in a trade. I have not looked at that. I don't know, man. Yeah, I have not looked at that.
Nah, I don't see that. I was over here reading Raider Ray's comment. My bad. But let me see. I'm looking at this, bro. I have not seen that. But again, I think if you're a team coming up off of the top 10 to come get a player, like you're gonna have to give up a second round. Probably gonna have to give up a second round to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now third round, like if it's 9-6, you might be able to fiddle away with a third.
Mm-hmm. Just because also the valuation, it doesn't say like it's not worth getting a second round pick. These guys, you're selling at that point. You're this is basically you're selling your team here. You're making a bid, right? A guy comes up, calls you, says, "Hey, what do you want for your sixth pick?" This is where you come in. This is where the negotiating really happens. So the negotiating is the sales. You're trying to sell the guy to make sure he gives you what you want. The other guy on the other end is trying to go ahead and try to keep as much as he can without losing the shirt, and that's really how the game is really played.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we want something and the other team is desperate enough, they'll give us what we want. It's just how we present it. So hopefully, Spytek's a good salesman, man, and he's able to go ahead and really get a lot for the sixth pick if the intention is really to go ahead and have us move on down. So
Yeah. And then, I agree. And this is where, I'll bring this up right here. Raider Ray asked, let me ask you this: running back, cornerback, wide receiver, linebacker. If you can't trade down, have to pick, name another player to impact your team like Genty, T-Back, no, Will J, Two Hurt, whatever the case. Look at it, O-line or Genty. Not even if, but Will Johnson I'm not worried about him being hurt or whatever. Right now, we're talking about who impacts the squad. If you're telling me
mhm.
out of those things, who's going to impact the squad, I feel like the position that doesn't rely on other positions for it to be good, which is cornerback. Cornerback does not rely on nobody else to be good. If he shuts down the side of the field, he shuts down the side of the field. That
Right.
is impactful, right? Where you have a Patrick Surtain, when you have a Jalen Ramsey, look at them squads, right? Look how they can come out here and play different types of coverage, and they can do certain things, right? In the D line, or the way our D line works, you're probably going to be funneling things to a whole nother other side of the ball, right? Because it's like, all right, well, we can't go to one side. So if you're going to ask me, bro, a cornerback is going to be more impactful unless you tell me that my O line is Hall of Fame level. If my O line is Hall of Fame level, then yes, I'm going to tell you that the running back can be impactful. But guess what? I just told you my O line got to be there, right? We're not sitting here and saying that Genty, just because he touches the ball 20 times, like what, he's going to touch the ball 20 times and there's not 5 other dudes that got to do their jobs in order for that man to do his job? Come on, bro. Like, we got to stop this, bro. I understand. I get it. He looks good. It's good as 6, but at the same time, are we confident that our O-line can provide him what he needs? Are we confident?
Yeah.
That's what we got to be confident. We can't sit here and talk about, oh, man, we got to take a offensive lineman at 6 or 37 and say we're confident that the O-line is going to give a running back the leeway that he needs, bro. That doesn't make sense. It contradicts itself. It's one or the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. No, facts for sure. Yep. Let's see here. Raider Ray had another one.
O-line issues, I agree with Isaiah. They can be overblown, but I do not think that we have the Eagles' offensive line, or we have Detroit's offensive line, or some of these other people, like some people are trying to make it out to be, bro. Like, they're mid. Mid is mid right now, right? And in order to see the full extent of what Genty can be able to do, I'm not going to put him behind a mid offensive line as the 6th overall pick. I'm just not going to do that. That's not conducive to the success that I want him to have. I'd rather get the running back when my offensive line is good to great. That's just me.
Shout out to our guy, God Family and Raiders. I feel that the Raiders may draft a QB, but it won't happen until the third round at minimum. I'm hoping Membu, Will Campbell at 6. If we trade back, I like Simmons or Revel for corner. There you go.
2 years
I'm not.
ago, and that player's not here no more, DJ.
Yeah.
So say what you want. We led the league 2 years ago, and he ain't here no
Yep.
more. So it was good
Nope.
memories. It was good memories. Or maybe 3. Maybe it was 3 years ago. Wherever it was, bro. 3 or 2 years ago. But still, either way, bro. Like, we did it already. It's happened. It's not like we're sitting here and it's been like 20 years and it's never happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I know he's going to touch it 20 times, but I mean, look at the draft class. I mean, just for running back alone, it's so deep. You don't have to go ahead and get your guy at 6, and
Let's
that's
shut
what
it
we're
down,
talking
Jay.
about.
Let's shut it
Yeah.
down,
I
bro.
mean,
Okay, look. So look, they talking about Genty, right? Yes,
mhm.
we ranked 32nd in the league in rushing last year. I agree. But all right, answer me this question. Now, who was our starting back last year? Alexander Madison. Let's just say that.
Mhm.
Okay, boom. Is Omarion Hampton better than Alexander Madison to everybody? Yes or no? It's a yes or no.
Is
Yes.
Omari have that
Better
boot?
than Alexander Madison?
Oh,
I think so.
no. Yeah, yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Is Quinshawn Judkins better than Alexander Madison and Zamir
Oh,
White?
yeah, definitely. Uh-huh.
Is Travion Henderson better than Alexander Madison and Zamir White?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's
For
already
sure.
3 dudes. That's better
Yep.
than what our running back
Oh, well, we
core
have
was last year.
right,
So,
exactly.
all right. So, boom. Okay, more. Let's go more. Is Caleb Johnson better than 2 dudes right there? I think so.
Yep.
Right? Is Cam Scatterbo better than them 2 guys right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Right? Like,
We're on
come
par.
on,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
but regardless of it, bro, coming into it, I think he's gonna be better coming in. So, regardless of it, bro,
Exactly.
like for me, if we were to draft those guys and most of the answers to that were yes, then we've done our job. No, we've
Mhm.
improved. So the name of the game is improvement. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we're gonna walk away from the draft with a running back, but not it might not necessarily be Aston Genty. We might have to just go farther down the draft to go ahead and get our guy,
Right.
and pick somebody else at 6 or at 9 or at 12, wherever we land at, because it's starting to shape out that way. And then now on draft day, I'm gonna be like, okay, are we gonna stay at 6 or are we gonna draft back? Not so much as who are we gonna draft at 6. Like, what's the play gonna be? I'm gonna be looking at the first 5 picks, it's the first 5 teams to see what they do. So at that point, at 6, when it's our turn, are we staying there, and who are we getting, or
Right.
are we gonna move back? Right. So I think that's the way it's starting to shape out. Um, I'm not bueno. Wi-Fi Willie trade package for Saints give Carr Saints receive Raiders first and second round pick.
Leo, we're not saying his name no more, bro, because I don't want to jinx it. I actually want us to get him, so I'm not gonna jinx it no more. Nobody
I think
knows.
I think he'll be there. What, like the third, right? He'll be there up until the third
Later than
round.
that. Later than
A
that.
little bit later.
You
Okay.
probably get him that. You probably get him like the 5th for real.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say the fifth, but I think I don't
Well,
know if
only
he's
because nobody be
to
talking
talk
about him,
to.
and I don't know how many other teams know him. If another team now probably, if another team it just ain't saying nothing, and then they take him into like the 4th round, I'll be like, God damn it. They figured it out. God
Yeah,
damn it, they figured it out. But other than that, bro, as of right now, I don't think nobody done figured it out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, I watched it last night, bro. Great movie, man. Uh,
Word is General Motors from now on if you speak on it. What's the deal, bro?
What's good, my guy? Thanks for pulling it up. Appreciate you, my guy. Man. Let's see here.
I see you, Raider Ray, but Judkins isn't going to be gone by the second. I mean, Judkins in round 2 will be there. You feel what I'm saying? Caleb Johnson will be there. Scatterbo will be there. Multitude of guys. RJ Harvey is somebody I really like. I really enjoy watching. Henderson, he might go first, but I don't think he'll go first round. I don't think so.
Or maybe late first round. That
Maybe
I
that,
see
if
those
that's the case.
projections. Yeah.
I think
Uh-huh.
the late first round running back will be Omarion Hampton. I think Genty will go for sure first round. I think late round running back will be, or late first round will be Omarion or
Mm.
Travion, but there'll only be 2. I think there's only going to be 2 in the first.
Yeah.
Second round is where I think the run happens, where it's like, oh,
Mhm.
now we're talking about whoever was left over from the first round, Henderson, Omarion, they go first couple picks in there. Now you got some others left over, right? So I think that would be it. I think only 2 go in the first.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be Genty and Hampton for
I can
sure.
see Denver
If,
taking him. I can see Denver taking Mario.
let me ask you this: so, out of the two Ohio State backs, who'd you get?
I'm Judkins. I'm going
You
Judkins
Jenkins?
because I feel
I like Henderson
I
a
know
little
a
bit
lot of
more.
people like, a lot of people like Henderson. I get it, but I just think Judkins has more three down potential in the league.
Hmm.
He's bigger. He has more durability. He's not as quick as Henderson for sure, but that jab step is nasty, bro. His cutback and his vision is nasty. And he's got a real powerful ass stiff arm, dog. I think he's quicker than to give it for than people give him credit for. So I go Judkins, bro. Again, he's six something. What he's 6 feet, 225,
Yeah.
runs a 4.4 dog like that. That's three down, and he blocks and he pass blocks. So that I ain't got to worry about that either.
Oh yeah.
Henderson does too, but Judkins does it as well, bro. So I ain't got to worry about that. So I think I'd go Judkins if it's me because it pairs
Yeah.
well with Mostert. I think
Uh,
Mostert and Judkins is a good little pairing.
a big good combination.
Yeah, I think that's better than because I think Henderson and Mostert are kind of similar, low key, in a way. They're similar in a way, not completely, but like the run style. Where I feel like Judkins, he gives us more power than Mostert would give us. Gives us more of a violent streak. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
I think that'd be a nice little pairing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Um, take a few more questions. So make sure you guys go ahead and get your questions in before we head up out of here
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
bit. Again, real quick, appreciate everyone tapping in with us on this Saturday morning. If you are new to the show, make sure you guys head on over it, hit that like button, smash those thumbs. We are trying to go ahead and grow our channel, so that does go ahead
yes,
and
yes,
support
yes.
us. It goes a long way. So we appreciate everyone tapping in. And also, if you guys want to get off the bench and get into the game, go ahead and become a member today. I got my link pinned up top in the chat, so make sure you guys hit that. I got special perks. So I'm gonna start making the member content. Party starting next week. We're gonna be doing videos. I'm gonna be doing a couple live shows, especially, and then the week after that, probably the week of draft week, I'm gonna be doing some member shows. So make sure you guys head on over. We'll do some mocks as well, just for the members. We'll do all that stuff together. So good things coming along those ways. So make sure
Yeah.
you guys go ahead and hit that link on our channels. We got the memberships going. So, but I got
Make
some
sure
good
you
stuff
guys are
coming
hitting
up
that,
for
bro.
sure.
That's fire, bro. Fire. I'm gonna be doing another mock draft for my members as well, man. So everybody that is a member to the Rundown channel, man, you already know we did one mock draft already, man. So we're gonna be doing another mock draft. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We're gonna be doing it either tomorrow or sometime next week, regardless of it. But yeah, we're gonna be doing another member mock draft. And remember, man, we on the road to 3K, man. We're gonna be giving away a Geno Smith jersey
Oh snap!
when we hit 3K, man. So make sure you are sharing the channel out, doing what you do, man. As soon as the rundown hits 3K, man, we're gonna be doing a random, man. Shout out to our guy Alex, man. We're gonna be doing a random Geno Smith giveaway, man. So appreciate everybody in here for tapping in with us on the channels on this Saturday morning, man. Beautiful show as always, man. Leo, I think we might be doing something tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see. I think so.
Oh
But
snap! There
we're
you
gonna
go.
tap in with the group.
Damn,
We're gonna tap
TRS
in with the
back in
group.
full effect, bro. I love
Yeah,
it.
man. That'll be
Hey,
one. That'll be one.
is it- yeah, it's been a long time, man. So that's good to see you guys back together for sure. Man. Let me go ahead and get some more questions in. Louise, yeah, Judkins is more Al Davis type of guys when it comes to power and big size. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I like Jerkins, bro. That's my personal preference.
Hmm. Yeah, let's see. Uh, I think did we I think we covered basically
Yeah, we done covered it all,
everything.
man.
We covered it all today, man. I
Yeah,
mean
we done covered it all.
the draft is less than 2 weeks away, so it's
Yeah.
literally here
That'll give us
before
the,
you
the
know
fresh
it.
content right there, man. And trust me, everybody knows, man. We're gonna be going in heavy. Soon as the draft is done, bro. We talking about film breakdowns, prospect overviews, deep dives, all of it. So make sure y'all tune in. Keep the notifications on, man. So we gonna be going full effect after the draft, man. We're gonna have a lot of content to look forward to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So let's go ahead and get ready to head on out. Really quick before we do, let's go ahead and go over pay some bills, go over a couple things real quick. Again, make sure you guys tap in next Saturday for our Saturday morning show. Good Morning Raiders at 10 a.m. Pacific going down. Next week, our guest is none other than Mr. Fitz from Ninth Island. He'll be with us. We're gonna be chopping it up. We'll talk about the draft
Fire,
again.
fire.
We'll get his takes and who he likes for this upcoming draft as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that. We're going to go ahead and also work on doing a draft show then
Mm-hmm.
for the following Saturday. After that, we do have
Yep.
a guest lined up, so um, we'll go ahead and get into that, and we'll go over who the guest will be the following week.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you guys tap in next week for Mr. Fitz. He'll be on with us. Good morning, readers. What do you have going on? I think you guys mentioned TRS tomorrow,
Yeah, might be
possibly
doing
might be a
TRS
thing.
tomorrow. I usually do, maybe a nice little mini show or whatever the case on Sundays. So usually on Sundays, you're gonna get a nice little mini rundown episode. Maybe I'm talking about the draft, or maybe we're doing the mock draft for the members, or whatever the case. So Sundays usually I'm doing a nice little episode. But got a live with my guy on Tuesday with my guy Leo. Man, we do State of the Nation. So that's a fire show. Love that as always, man. We go ahead and tap in with that on Tuesdays, man. As you see right there, 7 Pacific time, man. So make sure you guys are tapping in with that on Tuesday nights.
Mhm.
Also, man, if you want some solo rundown, you already know, man, keep your notifications on because I'm either releasing some episodes or I got some lives as we do, man, either breaking down film. Or we're going ahead and breaking down prospects or whatever the case. Like I said, after the draft, bro, we got a lot of film to watch. We got a lot of prospects to deep dive into, man. So y'all already know, man. Keep the notifications on. Keep it smooth, man. We trying to get to that 3K as we do.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then for me, I got Raiders Unfiltered going down every damn Monday night, 5 p.m. Pacific New Time. Been doing great with it. So I'm gonna be rolling with that time. Probably up until the season starts. Might
Fire.
change that time, depending. We'll see. Might shift back to 9
When
p.m.
the
But
season starts, I'm gonna have a nice little day that I pick for my solo show too. As of right now, I'm just like it's the off season. I'm trying to I'm trying to chill just like y'all, bro.
yeah, exactly. Hey, man, we've been pretty busy this off season
That's
to
what I'm
guard
saying,
this
bro.
year.
Like at a
Yeah,
certain
we haven't
point,
really
bro,
put
I'm
that
gonna
much.
take a vacation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need it. I already know what time it is, dog.
yeah, we're gonna figure it out for
Yeah,
sure.
y'all know me. Shit,
Uh,
every year I gotta take one.
yep. Hey, I'm gonna be out there back in Cali, probably for that event in Bakersfield. So
Yeah, yeah.
The Raider Nation Showdown. So I'll
And that's
probably be
fire,
out in
bro. Make sure
Bakersfield.
I'm sending Leo down there with a couple shirts and things like that. So that's gonna be cool, man. I want to get down there, but like I said, bro, I got some things. I'm over here planning, so I'm out. But
Oh yeah.
when them things occur, when I take my trips and all that, everybody, you already know what time it is.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll figure out. Maybe that'll be the time where we might take the that Saturday off. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Either that
figure
or
it out.
yeah, we'll see how that works.
Yep. And then also make sure you guys catch our panel show, The Rated Connection, going down every damn Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Cheeto Linus, Jeff New England Booster, and our guy LB Rated 10, myself. We do that. So if you like different takes, different opinions, make sure you guys hit up our panel show on Wednesdays for sure. And really quick, I did put up a poll earlier. Should the Raiders trade down in the first? I asked yes, get more draft capital, or no, stay and get your guy at 6. 57% say they want more draft capital. So yes, trade down to
Okay.
9 to whatever, and they want more draft capital. But it's kind of close. It's kind of
Yeah.
close. 50,
Yeah.
but 57% did speak on it. 26 votes casted in. So we'll see what happens. That might be the move, Raider Nation.
Okay.
We'll
All
see
right.
what happens, y'all. But
Hey, hit
hey,
to the channel too, man. I already got the draft link up, man, for that first night on Thursday, man. I already got it
yep,
up for the rundown channel. So make sure y'all go ahead, hit that link already, man. We got 2 weeks.
yep. I'm gonna be putting up mine pretty soon. So
Yep. You
we'll
already
have
know,
it ready
man.
for sure. We'll have it ready for sure. But again, hey, appreciate everyone tapping in with us on this Saturday morning. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Possibly, I'll see you on Monday.
Possibly. Possibly.
Appreciate you tapping in. Till
All
next
right.
time,
Word.
nation. One,
Much love,
peace.
y'all.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.